Welcome to my very first Learn to Draw video. Today we're going to draw just a cat, not any particular breed. I don't know if you guys want me to do step-by-step videos or just me talking while I'm drawing or music. Anyway, put that under a comment under a different video because the comments are not available here. Anyway, let's get started. I guess I need a better way to film this. That'll do it. Let's get started. Okay, so first you gotta start with a paper. Now get one of your light pencils and draw a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're gonna be erasing it anyway. Oh, by the way, you really need an eraser for this drawing. You're going to be doing a lot of that. So when you're done your circle, put 2 lines in the circle. So like where you want the eyes and nose to be. The nose will be right in the center and the eyes will be by the side but still on the line. Okay, now that you're done that, you start with the body. We'll start with the main part. So we'll start by doing the back. And this is just a rough sketch. Yep, I messed up there. Okay. It's okay if you mess up, because the good thing is that you always have an eraser. This technique is harder, but it's the best at the same time. So you keep drawing your body, then you draw a circle at the end of the body, then you draw an oval at the bottom for one of the feet's paws, and then you draw one of the legs at the front. Don't make it too out, like kind of keep it in, but add a little more 3D shape to it. And then you're going to do the back one. We're just gonna keep it like that. Then you're going to start on your tail in a second. Make sure it's not too long because it'll just look weird. So just kind of make it almost as long as the back, but not as long as the back because that would be weird. Then add a couple of triangles of where you're going to put your ears for your cat. Don't make one bigger than the other because, the ears are kind of important. So, don't make one bigger than the other because you're going to be needing that. Erase all the extra and then we can start erasing. So, erase the whole circle of the head, but leave it just enough that you can still see it so you can trace it. Make the head like more of a triangle shape because cats' heads aren't perfectly circle. They have a point at their chin. And then erase the lines where there's the ears and connect it. And then add a line to make it look like that it's not just a triangle and it's actually ear. Then what you do, you erase the cheek and you erase the lines in the center of the face, but you still see them. Redraw the cheek because it's a little harder to do one side. So when you erase the two lines, you got to make it still seeable for right now. And then you add a nose in the middle of the two lines, and then you make the cat's eyes. You don't want it to look too much like a human's eye because it's not as pointy. Cat's eyes are more pointy at the end. But first make it round at the ends just because it's rough. And then add two dark holes in the middle of your eyes for pupils. And then you add the mouth, connect it to the nose, and then add two more lines for a cat mouth and not really just a straight line under the nose. If you want, you can add little lines for kind of like the cheeks, but you're not going to really see them much when you color them in. Now erase the whole back and redraw it. Make it look more fluffy and more realistic. And if you mess up, just use an eraser and try again. That's all you could do. Unless you want to crumple up your paper and put it in the garbage, but I don't recommend it. Now erase the line between the front leg and the chest, and redraw the leg first so it's not too hard, or redo the chest. I do the chest because it's easier for me, but it could be the other way for you. And then you draw the leg, but then you're going to have to erase that line between that. But we'll get there when we're done drawing the leg. So when you redraw the leg, you don't want it to be too thin or too thick. Cats' legs are very they're not skinny, but they're not big either. They're just kind of right in the middle. But for this photo, I'm going to make this cat have its paw up. So then erase the big circle and that oval that we put at the end. And then don't add the full circle. Just kind of make it like little traces and then add the foot. Keep it oval, but make it more fluffy looking. And then add 3 lines at the bottom of all of your paws, except for the one. If you're going to make it up like mine, just do 1 or 2 to make it look sideways. Then see how the circle that we did last time, how you don't see all of it so it looks more natural? Yeah, you don't want to redo the whole circle. You want to make it kind of look more inside the body. Then if your head's a little too big, you can always adjust it. Like this time, my cat's head was a little big and not pointy enough, so I'm just going to redo that. There you go, that's better. And then reconnect the back and the head. That looks better. But that means when you adjust the head to make it smaller, you're going to have to redo the ears to make it smaller too. That's just how it is. And the other ear too. You don't want one to look smaller than the other because that would just look weird. Unless you're aiming for something like that, then go on ahead. And then what you do, you just kind of make it more pointy, but not too pointy, unless you're doing a certain type of breed. But mine is just a cat. Then erase the face and then redraw it to make it look more deep. And you know how we left the eyes curved? Well, this time you can press a little bit harder on your pencil or get a darker pencil and make it more pointy like. Ta-da! And then you want to redo that nose to make it more like 3D. Don't make your nose too small or too big, because then it would be an uneven face. And we don't want that. And then you're just gonna retrace all of what you just drew to make it more thick and not as a draft, like the rough coloring. You just kind of want to make it a little darker. Oh wait, I forgot the back leg. So you don't have to put a back leg by making the back leg, kind of more out to make it look more comfortable. You just kind of make an oval shape and then do the same thing with the other ones. Add 2 lines because it's sideways, so you want to make it more sideways. Anyway, take off all the extra eraser stiff, and then get a darker pencil. Now we're going to make the eyes and the nose a little deeper, and then we're going to make the mouth just a little darker on certain ends, like a little bit of top. And when you're making the cat's eyes, you kind of want like the eyes to pop out, but not too much. Yeah. And then for the middle of the eyes, you want to make that dark, but not too dark. See, like that. You can see like the top and the bottom are like outlined darker. And then you want to retrace the whole thing to a darker color, so the cat doesn't look too, hidden in the paper. You want it to pop out, so you just kind of trace it with your darker pencil, or you just press harder if you just have a little pencil. Well, not a little one, a normal one. There we go. Now let's do the rest of the cat. Then be really slow if you have to. Don't rush your drawings, because I find when you go slower and more careful, you can get a lot more of those designs in. But when you don't, it just kind of looks more bland. It looks like you rushed it and it looks too rough, and you press too hard on your pencil or something, and then the eraser can't really get it all. So take your time, go slow, pause the video if you have to, all that stuff. And then it's time to color it in. It doesn't really matter what texture your cat looks like, as long as it looks like it has fur. It's just, sometimes I just feel amazed how cats' patterns of, like, on their fur, how it's a certain type, and no other cat, unless it's a pure breed of something, no cat is the same. They all got different personalities, and they all pretty much got different patterns on their fur. So that's why I love making unique coats, because they look beautiful. And I'm also sometimes amazed that if you have your hand and a pencil, you can draw amazing stuff. And all you have is a pencil, eraser, and your mind and your hand. You need that too. Because I just look at a pencil and see a wooden tool filled with lead, not real lead, and you have a paper, and then you look what the pencil did, but also your hand did, because you need that too. Anyway, so that's sometimes what I'm amazed of. When you are drawing your cat, the circle at the end, of your cat, you want to make it look like it's actually from a circle. So make it look a little bit different from the pattern. You want the same pattern, but you want it to look a little bit more roundish, so it looks like it has a leg and not just kind of a paw randomly in the picture. Oh, don't forget the tail either. You need to draw the tail too. You can do any type of pattern on your cat. Because right now I just do multiple types of cat pictures. Like, I use many pencils, lots of pencils. And when you have different types of pencils, like one is lighter and one is darker, you can get way better volume in it. So if you right now just have a regular pencil and to make your lines look darker, you press harder, or lighter, you don't press as hard. That's okay. That's fine. But I still suggest pencils that are just different. Also, when you're drawing your cat, unless you want it pure white, you just kind of want to like put it through a darker color. Just kind of shade it to make it look like it's not just paper. And then erase some of the extra stuff that you probably scribbled out the paper. Oh, also, cats have more than 3 whiskers, and they're also super thin. So you need to do a few whiskers, but not too many. And when you're done, put your name or put your logo. Mine is a cat, and instead of eyes, it's my initials. And then it has a piece of wood around its neck, and holding it, it says Arts. So it's Alaythia Kaufman Arts. And then you're done. Take your time, and I hope you have a good time with this. And I dropped my pencil. So this is the results. This is my favorite technique of doing a cat, even though it took a lot of practice. But I find that other techniques are just not as good, because I like to make everything realistic, not very cartoony like. So it takes a long time to practice. It's okay if you didn't get it quite right. It's kind of good if you did it different, because then it's good to be creative. Like, subscribe, and see you next week.